This is not a video about hope. It does not begin with encouragement. It does not offer a way out. It does not promise transformation. It begins with discomfort. Because perhaps the greatest problem of our time is not pain, not suffering, not emptiness. The real problem is the organized lie we tell ourselves in order to endure all of it. The lie that one day it will pass. The lie that everything will make sense. The lie that happiness is waiting just ahead, after the next achievement, the next phase, the next improved version of ourselves. This video does not want to lift you up. It wants to sit you down in front of reality. We live surrounded by voices insisting that happiness is a right, a destiny, almost a moral duty. If you are not happy, something in you must be broken. You lack effort, you lack faith, you lack discipline, you lack optimism, you lack the right mindset, you lack a method, you lack courage. There is always something missing, and maybe that is the only honest clue. Philosophy, when it is sincere, does not exist to fill gaps. It exists to expose them. And more than that, to show that these gaps are not a malfunction of the system. They are the system. That is precisely what André Comte-Sponville does in desperately seeking happiness. He does not write to teach us how to be happy. He writes to show why the pursuit of happiness, as we usually understand it, may be the deepest source of our suffering. Here, happiness is not a shining destination on the horizon. It is an unstable concept, contradictory, almost deceptive, something far too fragile to carry the weight we place upon it. Something we promise ourselves from childhood without ever knowing what we are promising. From a young age, we learn to postpone life. First, we wait to grow up. Then we wait to study. Then to work. Then to earn more. Then to love correctly. Then to find ourselves. Then to rest. Then, finally, to be happy. Always later. Always not yet. Always somewhere other than now. Happiness becomes a place that is never here. And while we wait, life passes. Not heroically. Not as a tragedy worthy of myth. But as erosion. As repetition. As quiet fatigue. As the persistent feeling that something is off, even when everything appears to function. Comte-Sponville's philosophy begins exactly there, in the uncomfortable recognition that there may be no final state of fulfillment waiting for us, that life may not be designed to resolve itself, that the idea of permanent happiness may be a modern fantasy born from our inability to face lack. Because there is something we rarely dare to admit. It is not that happiness is missing from our lives. It is that lack is what structures us. This video does not want to convince you. It wants to place you in front of this realization and let it work on you slowly, like acid, like a question that does not ask to be answered. If you continue, do not expect comfort. Expect clarity, and clarity often hurts more than lies. We are taught to believe that desire is the engine of life, that it pushes us forward, gives us direction, keeps us alive. Without desire, they say, there is no movement, no meaning, no vitality. This belief is so deeply rooted that it is rarely questioned. And yet, this may be where the most fundamental misunderstanding begins. To desire is not simply to want. To desire is to lack. Desire is the experience of absence felt as tension. It does not arise from abundance. It arises from emptiness. We do not desire because we are full. We desire because something is missing. Plato stated this with brutal clarity. Desire is lack, not metaphorically, structurally. We desire what we do not have, what we are not, what we imagine would complete us. Desire always points outward, never toward what already exists. If desire is lack, then it is not merely motivation. It is suffering. Not accidental suffering, but permanent suffering. While we desire, we are separated from what we believe we need to be okay. We live in a constant state of insufficiency, and desire does not resolve itself. It migrates. When we finally obtain what we once desired, something unsettling happens. The lack disappears, yes, but with it disappears the desire itself. The object loses its glow. What once seemed essential becomes ordinary. What remains is not happiness, but a neutral emptiness, sometimes calm, sometimes disturbing. We do not feel fulfilled. We simply feel less pain. And very soon, another lack takes its place. This is why desire never leads to happiness. It keeps us moving, but in circles. Advancement without arrival, motion without destination. We call this ambition. We call this progress. We call this life. But it may simply be repetition. Modern culture turns desire into virtue. It constantly stimulates new wants, as if endless craving were proof of vitality. But the more we desire, the more fragmented we become. Each desire is a quiet confession of insufficiency. To desire is to say, without words, as I am not enough. Repeated daily, this message corrodes the soul. The point is not to eliminate desire. That would be impossible. The point is to see it clearly, to stop mistaking it for a reliable guide. Desire does not lead to fullness. It leads to the wound that never closes. Perhaps desire is not the fire that keeps us alive. Perhaps it is the pain we have learned to call movement. Happiness appears simple, obvious. Everyone thinks they know what it is, even when they cannot define it. That alone should make us suspicious. When pressed, the most common definition emerges. Happiness is getting what you want. It sounds reasonable, but it contains a contradiction that is rarely examined. If happiness is getting what you desire, then it depends entirely on desire. And desire exists only where there is lack. We desire what we do not have, which means happiness depends on something that does not yet exist. While we desire, we suffer, we wait, we lack. We are not happy. When the desire is fulfilled, the lack disappears. But so does the desire, and with it, the very condition that sustained the idea of happiness. What remains is not joy, but silence, neutrality, sometimes boredom. What we call happiness turns out to be nothing more than the end of a specific discomfort. This explains something everyone experiences but few admit. The moments we label as happiness are not states. They are intervals, brief suspensions between one lack and the next. The promise of lasting happiness collapses under its own logic, not because we fail to reach it, but because it cannot exist as imagined. And yet, we insist. We turn happiness into an absolute ideal. We measure our lives by it. We judge ourselves and others through it. And when we do not find it, we assume something is wrong with us. Perhaps the mistake lies in the concept itself. Perhaps happiness is not a destination, but a misunderstanding. A name we give to relief and then demand it last forever. Nothing that is born as an instant can survive the demand for eternity. Life does not move forward. It oscillates. On one side, suffering, the pain of lack, the anxiety of wanting, the tension of absence. While we desire, we are projected toward the future, estranged from the present. On the other side, boredom, the emptiness that follows fulfillment. When the object is attained, meaning dissolves. What remains is a quiet void. We suffer when we lack. We grow bored when we possess. This is the basic rhythm of existence. The moments when the pendulum seems to pause are what we call happiness. They never last. The tragedy is not the pendulum. The tragedy is believing it will someday stop. To live without hope sounds like surrender, like despair, like giving up. It may be the opposite. Hope always pushes life forward. It says, not yet, not now, not here. It turns the present into a waiting room. Everything we are becomes provisional. Life itself is postponed. To live with hope is to live in permanent delay. The more we hope, the less we inhabit the present. The more meaning we project into the future, the more we hollow out the now. Hope seems to sustain life, but quietly impoverishes it. To live without hope is not to deny the future. It is to stop bargaining with it. It is to refuse the emotional blackmail of one day. One day I will be happy. One day I will be complete. One day it will all make sense. That day does not arrive. Abandoning hope means accepting lack without decorating it. It means recognizing there is no final resolution waiting, no moment where everything aligns. And yet, life continues. Perhaps that is what makes it bearable, not expecting it to save us. Living without hope is more honest because it does not lie. It does not promise. It does not postpone. It is a harsh fidelity to what is. And perhaps paradoxically, it is only there, without illusions, without guarantees, that life finally begins. If this video stayed with you, even for a few seconds, then it already did what it was meant to do. Nothing here promises hope. Nothing sells easy answers. What we offer instead is honesty, silence, and the courage to look at life without filters. That kind of content is rare, and it only exists because someone chooses to stay, to listen, to return. Just watching until the end already helps more than you think. Sharing the video helps even more. It tells the algorithm and the world that there is space for depth in a culture addicted to noise. If you want to go further, becoming a channel member is a way of standing closer. Members help keep this space independent, slow, and uncompromised. It's not about perks. It's about belonging to something that refuses to lie. And if this video gave you something real, consider using super thanks. It's a quiet gesture of retribution, a way of saying, this mattered. Either way, your presence is already enough. Thank you for being here.